Now, if you were in court and someone said, I need you to put this guy to death, and this is the evidence, can you state with certainty this is Tyler Robinson? Can you state beyond a reasonable doubt that's Tyler Robinson? There is a hearing on next week, July 6th through 10. It's been scheduled for 5 days. I believe we will get motion photography, to take it back to the 1920s. Motion pictures for all 5 days. I think one of the days, maybe the first day, we will not have still photography, best I can tell, reading the judge's opinion. Apparently, the group who was supposed to do the still photography on July 6th did not file in time. They were supposed to file it 14 days out. They only filed 13 days out. And Judge Graff, man, he's no nonsense. He's not spinning helicopters in the courtroom. Not Judge Graff. No. This guy is all business. He said 14 days before. These guys filed 13 days before. They're out. There was no one else that filed for that day. So I don't know that there'll be still photography that day. I don't know how he's going to settle that. But one of the things he ordered was that the defense and the prosecution must get together and decide, for your sake and my sake, which of these exhibits will be permitted to be shown to the public. Because there's a list of exhibits. We'll show you the ones that are already public. I don't know why they would oppose those. We'll show you some of them. I'm not going to show you every single one. But they're going to show us a list of exhibits, and the prosecution and the defense has until July 6th to come to an agreement on which ones they both agree shall not be shown to the public. I'm assuming things like, morbid pictures and stuff probably won't be. But things like the photo of the screwdriver, I don't think that's been public yet that I've seen. So will we see it? So let's go over a few of these real quickly, and I will give you an idea of what it is they're talking about. First, I'll just give you an idea of what this exhibit list looks like. The defense has already lodged some objections. These are theirs on the right. Don't worry about this column on the right. We've seen this before. You've got drone images. You've got screwdriver. We've got 3 different photos of the alleged sniper perch. We've got a video of mom and kids in the crowd that probably will not be shown publicly since it has kids in it. We've got a written statement of somebody named AW. This is, this is all going to be hearsay of hearsay, and the judge is letting it in. We've got a written statement from TP, whoever that is. Those are initials. We have a video of shooting from behind questioner. I think we've all seen this one. This is the one where the guy in the red hat is on the right. And it's probably one of the more gory and graphic images. We got the video of the shooting from behind Charlie Kirk. I doubt they're going to take the screen grab from Candace Owens, which means the court might actually see that original photograph. That actual video footage. We got a written statement from TPUSA, a video of the shooting from behind booth. I'm guessing that's the booth out to Charlie's left, to his 9 o'clock. A photo of the rifle in the bushes, and then 3 other rifle photos. That's going to be what was recovered across the street from TPUSA. The medical examiner's report. These are not the photographs. These are just the report, not the video. We have surveillance footage from UVU and doorbell surveillance footage. I doubt we're going to see a bunch of that. Probably only the stuff that's already been made public, and we may not even see all of that. We got another written statement. This written statement should be interesting. I hope we get to see this, because this is Mike Mitchell. This is the retired sheriff deputy who allegedly drove Tyler Robinson to the Washington County Sheriff's Office. And it'll be interesting if he includes a time. Much has been made of the time that Tyler Robinson showed up. The family is now insisting it was early afternoon. Or, well, I don't want to overstate that. A member of the family is insisting it was early afternoon. It'd be interesting if there's a time in this written statement from Mike Mitchell. We got the video at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. That would be definitive. That's it. That's what we're looking for. That to me solves the case. Is it either a multi-agency cover-up or not? Or at least it solves if the video is the wrong time. In other words, if the video comes from earlier than they told us Tyler turned himself in, then it's over. This is not a Tyler Robinson deal. This is a multi-agency cover-up, and it goes all the way to the top. And then we have this very controversial recorded statement of Lance Twiggs. We've got text messages between Tyler and Lance. We have Discord chats. That'll be interesting to see which ones they show. Is it after we believe Tyler turned himself in custody? Photo of the note. This will be interesting. I would love to see this. I don't know that we'll be allowed to. That would be amazing to see. FBI released photographs. Then we have different rifle rounds from the rifle. Photos of them anyway. Photo of rifle round apparently that matches from the apartment. Photo of the burnt note from the apartment. Remember, Tyler told Lance burn the note or get rid of the note. Lance dutifully burned it, but not before he took a picture of it. And apparently he didn't spread the ashes. He left the ashes there, and it somehow is they were able to determine it was the note. We've got targets, presumably rifle targets in the apartment. We have an ATF DNA report. This is DNA collected from the rifle and the cartridges. It'll be interesting to see how many different sets of DNA they've been able to gather. We've got DNA report from the Talon screwdriver. Again, is it just one set of DNA? ATF ballistics report. This is the much disputed ballistics report on whether they were determined a match between the rifle round and the gun, the purported rifle round and the gun. We've got an ATF DNA report, an ATF tool marks report. That'll be interesting. So that's what they are going to have to get together and decide on. Which of these are they going to allow us to see? Well, some of these we already know. For example, we've already seen some of this. Like, there's no reason to hide the drone footage. It's right there. Like, we have it on our computer. So you don't have to hide the UVU police drone footage. We already have the drone footage. Do we have even more? Yeah, we have other drone footage. I think this was a news drone copter here, but this is other drone footage from the scene. You can see the Losee Center building here. You can see this is the Hall of Flags running behind where the tent is. You can see the tent poking out there. It does not show the Losee Center, but it shows the walkway beneath the Losee Center. So we have a lot of this drone footage. We even have drone video. I don't know if this is the drone video, but here's another picture from the scene. This is, again, drone footage from the scene. You can tell it's in an elevated position here. I want to say this was news because this cop here was not amused with this drone. At one point, she waved it off and it went away, if you look at the video. But you can see even late into the evening, you've got lights on down here on the left-hand side under the Hall of Flags. So it's obviously late into the evening. And there's still hats sitting out. So the scene has not been cleaned up. I think you can even see a camera right there. The speakers are still up. I mean, this is very much still a live scene at this moment. So in other words, why would the defense or the prosecution object to showing drone footage that's already public? That doesn't make sense to me. The screwdriver photo would be interesting. The radio scanner said nothing was found on the roof. If you listen to the original radio scanner, the guy gets up there and he's looking for rifle casings. He mentions nothing about a screwdriver. He doesn't mention anything about a screwdriver. Now, maybe he wasn't looking in the right spot. Maybe the screwdriver's located somewhere else. So it'll be interesting to see the screwdriver photo. I think that would have great public value. No, I don't want to play this. I don't want to play the audio. But it's interesting to me that they have a photograph of this screwdriver. I'd be very curious where it was found, because if it was found near the actual perch, near the ledge where the shooter allegedly took the shot. I hate to use air quotes so much, but I don't buy any of the story. It'd be interesting to see the photo, because if that's where it was, why did they not find it when they went up there? They were up there looking for rifle casings. Why did they not find the screwdriver? Why did they say, oh, there's no rifle casings, but there's a screwdriver. It's right there. They didn't say that. We have the pic of the rifle in a cardboard box that the New York Post has generously provided the public. I don't know why it's always the New York Post that gets these leaks, but there it is. This is interesting to me. The only reason I'd like to see this image is if they have a higher quality image. It's hard to tell with the shadowing and all this where the scope, the outline of the scope is, and what type, more importantly, you see where my mouse is right here? Behind the bolt. See this large, okay, everybody knows where the trigger guard is. See this circle down here in the trigger guard? Right above the trigger guard is the bolt. To fire this weapon, or to chamber around in this weapon, you have to lift the bolt up, pull the bolt back, and then shove the bolt back forward and push the bolt down. Now you're ready to fire. But right behind the bolt, right here behind the bolt, is the safety of this gun. That's where the safety is. Now, historically, if you have an original of this vintage model, the safety is very tall, and it has to go all the way to the left in order to fire. It's all the way to the right now. I think you can see it. It looks like it to me. To fire a Mauser, that safety has to go back up into the top position and all the way to the left. It's a three-part safety. On the left, bolt can open, gun can fire. On the right, on the top, if it's sitting straight up, you can open and cycle the action, but you cannot pull the trigger. It disables the trigger. I wouldn't stand in front of it. I mean, I'm not that confident that it disables it, but it disables it. In theory, it disables it. And when it's all the way to the right, you can't do either. You can't open the bolt and you can't fire the trigger. You can't engage the round. Well, if that safety's all the way to the right in this condition, and the scope prevents it from going all the way back to the left, how did he fire the round? And so I think this is very interesting. This is a blurry, grainy image that New York Post has given us. We have asked them, or not we, Daisy. Daisy's asked them every which way she can, and asked everybody, I think, who works at the New York Post, can we get a clearer image? And all of them have ignored her. But a clearer image might tell us whether or not this rifle even could be fired in that condition. Now, to be fair to the Fed sloppers, you can take off that original very tall safety and they make a very short safety. And that short safety allows a low profile scope, which is what that appears to be. And it still allows you to turn the safety into the 3 positions. But you can't tell from that grainy image what it is. So that's an image I hope they release to the public, because I think that's a matter of great public importance. Could this rifle even be fired? And it's not gory. You guys are claiming it's a rifle, so I don't know why you wouldn't be able to show us the rifle picture. Why would anybody oppose that? I mean, we on our side of the aisle, or at least I don't speak for all of you, I don't believe Charlie Kirk was shot with a 30-06. I just don't. I don't think it's possible. However, I would love to see a rifle that could at least make the shot, that could at least fire around if it wanted to. That would at least allow me to keep entertaining the possibility perhaps he was shot with a 30-06 that acted in an unbelievable manner in his neck and did not go through. I would at least have that possibility floating around. But if you show me a high quality image and that's the original safety, and it can't even go past the scope, well, we got a problem on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Messages between Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs, we already have them. So why wouldn't you show them to us? We have a bunch of them. I don't know that we have every one that's ever been sent, but we have a bunch. Look, all these are text messages between them. So why wouldn't you just show us the text message? Why is that a closely guarded state secret? You already gave us all these. The only thing that you could possibly give us are additional texts that are unrelated. Okay, redact them. But what we might be able to tell from looking at the images of the text messages, timeline. What time were these texts sent? Then we can begin to build out a timeline that's a little more accurate for the day of. We can guess when a lot of these were sent, but guessing isn't very helpful. They have the ATF DNA report. Well, we have pleadings that quote extensively from the ATF DNA report. We even have correspondence back and forth that includes ATF data. So why wouldn't you tell us that? Because I do remember everyone was shocked last time. I'm not going to scroll through that and show it, but I do remember everyone was shocked when in open court, the defense lawyer was questioning I think it was a police officer, and the state had the police officer say that Tyler Robinson's DNA allegedly was on the rifle. And then the defense lawyer gets up and says, yeah, but 5 other people's were too, right? And he said, well, I can't comment on that. He said, oh, you can comment when it's only Tyler's, but you can't comment about the other 5 people that were found? Well, that was a huge bombshell into this case. Whose DNA was that? Have we been able to track down those people? Is it people like Lance Twiggs? Is it unknown? How many people are handling this rifle? Are they related to Tyler Robinson? That would be helpful. Like if we, maybe granddad's DNA's on there. Well, we could probably rule him out as a suspect for setting up his own grandson. But what about these other people? Who are these other people's DNA? They mentioned there were 2 videos that they were going to show of the shooter on the roof. Well, we've seen one. I think we've seen them both. I'll show you the first one here. This was from inside the Hall of Flags immediately afterwards. You guys remember this video? I'm not going to stop it and all that. We're right there. The guy. That's one of the 2 videos we have of the shooter on the roof that we know of. I hope I played that. Did I pull a Baron? I don't think I did. I think I played that. We have yet another video of the shooter. If I can get this one pulled up and shared appropriately. This one is actually probably the most interesting one to me of all 3.
Can ride up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying. He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in. And now he's right there. Just saying.
That's interesting to me because it gives you an idea of how long that guy was actually on the roof in that prone position, because he sees him run. He sees him lie down. He has to get out his phone, open his camera, get it up there. And that's a 20-second long video right there. And there was no bang in that video. So that's at least 20 seconds. We know the guy was lying down prone in that position. If that's an authenticated video or authenticatable video, assuming you can figure out who that is. I believe Candace has talked to that guy who took that video. And he was some sort of a firearms expert. And he actually sent her a note that she showed on her screen. We got a screen grab of it here. He actually sent her a note of his opinion, his expert opinion. I will call him an expert. Watching the video of the impact, hearing the sharp crack instead of a big hunting rifle's boom, and seeing what looked like a shorter rifle platform, albeit with the absence of a shape of a standard 30-round magazine. The assassin may have used a 10 or 20-round magazine, only expecting to shoot once or twice. I would guess that he was shot with a Hornady VMAX or similar lightweight .223 bullet designed for a very rapid expansion. Of course, I don't have access to any autopsy reports like you might, but if they found small shards of copper rather than one large copper-coated lead slug, that's the gun and bullet I would expect was used. So this is a firearms expert saying that did not look like a Mauser 98. And it didn't sound like a 30-06. Sounded different. That's consistent with a lot of other witnesses at the scene who said it did not sound like a big boom. Sound like a firecracker. One guy said it sounded like a cherry bomb. Another person said it sounded like fireworks. All very consistent. Now, there is that one other video, and I'm not even going to play it because it's so lousy. You can't see anything. Of the guy running across the roof across the parking lot, and they zoom in and they follow him down. And that's the one where he scales off the roof like Spider-Man. Those are the only 3 videos in existence that we're aware of that show a shooter on a roof. Can you say, beyond a reasonable doubt, that any of those 3 were Tyler Robinson? Can you say that? Maybe I will show it if I can find it quickly. No, I can't. Yeah, there it is. Now, if you were in court and someone said, I need you to put this guy to death, and this is the evidence, can you state with certainty this is Tyler Robinson? This is the evidence you're given. You've got a guy who's now missing. Here he comes, pops out the other side. That's him there. Can you state beyond a reasonable doubt that's Tyler Robinson? Is there anybody on earth who would look at that and say, yep, there's not a single reasonable person, there's not a single reasonable shred of doubt that that's Tyler Robinson? I am 100% convinced that that is Tyler Robinson. What about that Hall of Flags video I showed you where they panning across the crowd and you see a little figure in the background? He's about that big, scampering across for about half a second. Anybody on earth who would look at that and say, yep, fry him, strap him in the chair? No. And what about that guy who had the video of him lying down? He said, is that somebody on the roof? He didn't even know it was a person. Is that somebody on the roof? It looked like somebody ran over here and laid down right there. Is that a guy on the roof? So when you talk about, hey, you guys are being totally unfair. It's open and shut case, like Brandon Tatum said 3 hours ago. It's open and shut case. What's an open and shut case? What's the open and shut part of this case? How is it open and shut that is Tyler Robinson? Well, Baron, they found a shoe imprint up there. Okay, a shoe that nearly everyone owns. I own a pair of Chuck Taylors. I'd like to see the shoe imprint that they claim is so clearly Chuck Taylor. Now, maybe they have additional evidence. I don't know. But you don't either, and that's the point. I don't know what other evidence they have. Maybe there's a video camera right on the roof, and Tyler walks up to it and goes, hi, Mom. Maybe. Maybe there's right on the ledge, Tyler put all 10 fingers and just like carefully touched the ledge and then like carefully lifted up and said, ooh, I bet those fingerprints are perfect. If you've ever been fingerprinted, and I have been fingerprinted, when I became a lawyer, I had to go get fingerprinted to get a courthouse pass. I don't know why, but I had to, for whatever reason, I had to go in and I think I had to get fingerprinted for the bar too, but I know I had to for the courthouse pass. And I had to go in there and they roll your fingers out one at a time. And then you get this black smudge all over it. And they do your other hand. They roll them out one at a time. And that's the fingerprint. Maybe Tyler's up there rolling his fingers out one at a time on the ledge. And it's just indisputable that all 10 fingerprints match all 10 of Tyler's fingers. Maybe. But I don't know that and you don't know that. And so if you come and you say, oh, I'm confident he did it. How? What do you have? His DNA was there. It was his gun. Of course his DNA was there. His DNA's all over the rifle. Yes, that's correct. Just like if you grab my water bottle and take it to the scene of the crime and leave it there. My DNA will be all over it. My fingerprints are all over it. My DNA's from where I'm drinking out of it. It's all over it. Doesn't mean that I drank water at the scene. Doesn't mean I was even at the scene. And so what we're talking about here is reasonable doubt. Right now, there is a mountain of reasonable doubt that Tyler Robinson solely planned and executed Charlie Kirk with Granddad's 30-06 from the Losee Center. A mountain of reasonable doubt. Maybe those holes will get filled in as time goes by. Great. But if you're frustrated that we keep saying that, why are you so confident he did it? The evidence doesn't seem to suggest that yet. If you're frustrated by that, sit back and shut up.